Coffee talk.
Oh, Jesus.
Jonathan. I get it a lot.
What's up, dude?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. No problem. I'm honored to have you here. It's a beautiful day.
It really is.
And if you haven't realized already, for the audience, we're outside. This is the first time I'm filming this podcast outdoors.
Ooh, a location.
On location, a different set, a different scenery. Having a mobile setup is really cool. I feel like I don't see this too often with podcasts. Is like visual podcasts specifically. Like they usually stay in a studio at a desk and they dress it up real nice. But sometimes you just want to go to Central Park and it's really nice.
Absolutely.
Really
How lucky are we that we get to go to Central Park?
Also, it's like the perfect day outside. It's like super gloomy and like there's no harsh sunlight. That would suck if there was harsh sunlight.
Yeah, and you guys can't see at home, but there is a crew of 32 people on the other side of this camera.
Project Phil gave us a budget.
Yeah,
so
big budget.
We spent it all on people.
There's no equipment. There's just 32 people just standing watching, just in case.
We want an audience. Dude, how are you, man? How's it been?
Good.
Good.
I'm good.
Good.
Figuring things out, but not too shabby.
Nice. That's really nice.
How are you?
I'm good too. It's gonna be a long day of shooting for me.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. This is the dream. We're living the dream, dude.
Yeah.
This is pretty freaking cool.
Absolutely.
I don't think you know this, but you're on the show because our audience on Patreon told me that they want an actor for the next guest. And I was like, he's like the actor I know that's like still doing stuff and also has can say that they've done stuff as an actor.
I'll take it.
I know other people that have done that, but I feel like you're the most entertaining to speak to. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
And I wanted to add a little flair to the conversation because I never know what you're gonna say ever.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't most of the time know what I'm going to say most of the time. So it'll be fun for all of us.
Yes. First question I have for you.
It's about 7.5, 8.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask. Second question I have for you. You have a beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I don't want to assume. But you have a beard.
Oh, that fat laugh. You can hear the fat on my vocal cord. Sorry.
Do you have a phone with Face ID? You have an iPhone?
I do.
Does it ever get screwed up when your beard grows out long?
No.
Really?
Really? Because I mean that's something I have to think about. Because for a while during the pandemic, I had like a
massive beard.
Yeah, big one. And every time I think they do more of the eye stuff. I don't think they're beardists.
Really?
I think they. Yeah. So far, I haven't had any beard-related issues with the Face ID.
That's really great. I thought you guys would have at least one problem in your life, like as bearded people, like at least one problem,
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't even have issues with that.
Yeah. I'm speaking for myself, and all the other estrogen-based humans out there, because beard growth is a.
I have horrible empathy. I have horrible empathy, truly. And I constantly, I feel bad. I do. I genuinely do. I know that's a weird thing to say, or it probably comes off condescending, whatever. But I genuinely do. I really do. I really, really do. I feel so lucky to have a beard. And I am very sorry for you. I genuinely mean that.
I mean, I appreciate that, man. It goes a long way. It truly does. Maybe one day, I'll be able to It's not like it's impossible for me, Poor women, they can't even have. They don't even have the potential.
I know a couple. But fun fact: when I was 14, my dad took me to a barber shop, and got a shave, a flat edge shave when I was 14.
Wow.
So we both did it together.
Yeah.
So I think that had maybe something to do with it, like getting it started early.
Yeah.
Of shaving all the crap out and getting a new fresh coat.
There you go. Maybe that's the key.
So go back to when you were 14 years old and get a
clean shave.
Get a clean shave.
Even if you have nothing.
Yeah.
Even if there's a little they used to tell me that if you keep shaving what you have, it grows back faster or something. And I'm like, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I did shave
Not in a rush.
like as quick. I was in a rush. Hence why I had a beard when I was 16
it's a
years
big
old.
determining factor in your
Yeah.
manhood. You used to do something similar to this.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yeah, Pizza Your Mind.
A Pizza Your Mind.
Pizza Your
Yeah.
Mind. I remember watching Joe constantly, like, editing the episodes, those really long episodes with really cool people. And we would watch them together. Like,
Oh,
it was
that's
just,
cool.
It was just fun. Because also he would edit them with, like, without headphones, so we would have to listen to you.
He didn't give you a choice.
But no, that was a really good show, man. That was, like, really fun to watch. The fact that you guys were eating pizza was really cool. I thought that was awesome because you truly have a passion for pizza, as I
As you
I
can tell,
learned.
you could say that. You could say it. I get it, man.
I can't tell anymore.
Nice.
And and yeah, you had some pretty cool guests too. I remember seeing that. I don't know any of the names, but the person who was I think either off or on Broadway at the time, or had been. I think also was a drag queen maybe. I think no, not a drag queen. No, I think they were just.
Oh,
yeah.
Mars.
Mars?
Mars, who was the first hold on, I'll say this correctly. The first non-binary person of color as a leading role on Broadway.
Oh my God! Oh, that's crazy.
I don't know if they're going back on to the show that they were doing, but yeah, they were. And then I had Alex Brightman.
Oh my God! I forgot about that. Yes.
That was the first one.
What was your coolest guess? Hold on. There's a
moped
tractor
going by.
going past. No, it's a tractor cutting the grass. Massive tractor.
Huge.
Going really fast.
Well,
too.
and there's Alex Brightman on the tractor.
Oh, nice.
Alex.
What's up? Hey.
He's
anyway.
got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I was I hate not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like that bothers me a lot.
Yeah.
I feel very bored when I don't do stuff, so I figured why not do a YouTube thing.
That's really cool. Well, who was the coolest guest? Was it Alex Brightman or Mars or somebody else?
Oh, the coolest guest? That's very difficult to say.
Yeah, I hope none of them watched it.
I know all the 52 viewers of my thing will they will
be up in arms.
Yeah, a Pizza Your Mind strong followers will.
Don't worry. And the 4 Patreon people that watch.
Yeah, 4 Patreon people.
They're all gonna unite and
Yeah, attack us. I think I really like Joel Wagner.
Joel Wagner.
He's an incredible person. He was on Broadway.
Nice.
I
feel like I remember that name.
Yeah, he's just a very fun. His mind works so well.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a new project that he's a part of.
Oh, nice. Nice.
A new project that he's going to be writing the music to. He did an Advent calendar during the pandemic and the year prior, and it blew up in the Broadway world. It was an Instagram thing that they did minute little songs, original songs that were just hysterical. I'll show you after this. Very, very funny.
To see that. Yes. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I feel like I'm typically, or I usually see you like you're doing something. Like you said, you're always active. And you just did, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but Joe's editing a film right now, like a short film, right? How's that going? What's the process with that?
Long.
Yeah?
It's a long process. It's a learning experience.
You guys filmed this
for
a long
sure.
time ago, yeah.
April 1st, we filmed it.
Nice. You gotta love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about it.
Yeah.
I had fun doing it. So it's a short film, comedy. About 20 minutes. We filmed it in 2 days.
20 minutes, wow.
Yeah, Joe is sound on it, and then he mixed after.
He's doing sound. Oh, nice. So he was the sound guy on this.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah.
And then Shani Hajian was the DP, who's fantastic. It's just taken a lot longer than I thought.
Of course.
But that's part of the process,
Filmmaking is it's a lot harder than people might think. and it takes a long time. Like sometimes with like 10, even 20-minute or even 5-minute things. Sometimes it's like, wow, this is like a process because not everything goes smoothly. There's a lot of kinks you got to work out.
So many, and like refilming or like other sound things. That's when I watch like a Marvel movie, I'm like, holy shit, how did that? Like, I can't put together in 20 minutes, but then like a year later they have a full movie with all the CGI and all
insane,
like it's
man.
crazy.
And I have been doing this. I have been doing this for a little while now, and having done it for 2-3 years, I think, maybe going on 4 actually. I'm just now starting to see how it's kind of attainable, those kinds of things, like I feel like with a big enough team, of course, like those things are very possible, but also realizing like how much money goes into it and how much money you need to hire those people that do those beautiful, wonderful things. And it's insane, man. These people go to school for a reason. Like I was always like, when I was younger, I was like, school's like school schmool,
Yeah,
I'm like,
with you.
whatever. But then you realize it's like, wow, there are some professions, some technical professions in the film industry that require at least a little bit of schooling,
I've had this thought recently, actually, with school specifically, because I didn't want to go to school. I felt like I enjoyed my experiences and all that, even in college, but like I didn't want to learn anything. School, like I did not want to learn. Now I want to. I want to go back to school. I genuinely want to go back to school because I'm like in this thing. I want to learn right now. So I think when you find out what you want to learn, then you go. I think it's silly that you go from high school to college. Personally, I think you should take like 2 or 4 years to like get experience in whatever field you want to do, and then go to school, because no one wants. You just are finished with high school. What you want, you're paying for partying and all of that. Like,
basically,
you really are. No one wants to learn. There's a couple nerds that do.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
No, it's true. I totally relate to that. When I got to New York, and I was working full time, and just working, and kind of doing some things on the side. I still have this urge, but I've had a strong urge to go to college and like do a film, like get a film degree or like do a technical thing. Like I was even thinking of going outside of like the arts and doing something technical. And then, I kind of looked at how much it would cost and I was like, maybe not today.
Yeah.
But it really, I do have that urge, and I try to satisfy that urge by like learning to do these kinds of things. Like YouTube is like amazing.
It's an academy in itself.
Yeah, it's
truly
for a lot of the beginner to intermediate things that have to do with like film and podcasts and streaming and content in general. You can learn a lot of that stuff on YouTube, and the more advanced things, of course, but you have to like get experience for that. But like everything else, it's like super simple.
You're handed like the basics through YouTube and stuff, and then through experience you learn how to make it more your own, and things that like work for you that maybe don't work for other people. I did a podcast last year as well.
Nice.
A couple of chestnuts.
Yes, the chestnuts. Yes. And you had what's his
Colin
name?
Mockery.
Yes.
Isn't that
God, it's
nuts?
So sick,
I'm gonna try to get him. Manny and I are gonna do a season 2 this year.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try to get him on again.
Of course, please.
Why not?
That was so cool.
And I might actually try to get Mike Birbiglia. Do you know who that is?
No.
Stand-up comedian.
No, I don't know.
If you saw him, I think you'd know him.
Got you.
That's all.
Yeah, sick. That's incredible. I'm glad to hear that might be coming back because that was really cool.
But why I said that?
Yeah.
Learned it through YouTube.
Yeah,
like I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but I had to look it up and Google it. We have
Google
on our phone.
It's the world.
It is unbelievable. I don't think we like talk about it enough. We have the world at our fingertips.
It's insane. And it seems so like sometimes it feels like people don't realize that and maybe it's because some people like to figure things out the hard way or like do it on their own or like just ask somebody else. But I work at Apple now. I got a job at Apple.
Dope.
Yeah, it's cool. It's the Williamsburg Apple.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's really lucky with that one. Honestly, it's a really
What are you
great
doing?
place to
Are you
work.
like the genius bar?
Specialist. I just work on the floor. But the amount of times that people come in and they're like, "Hey, so like, what's the new iPhone 13?" I'm like, "Okay, let's go to apple.com."
Yeah, right.
It has a nice camera. It has this, and that. Oh, let's press the compare feature. This is how it's different from the phone before. I'm like, if you guys just did this, you wouldn't have to come in store.
It's a waste of time.
Everything is like at your fingertips.
Yeah.
They're like, if I want to do this, and that with the iPad Pro, and then do this, that, I'm like, let's ask Google. Let's see if you could do that actually.
Yeah.
And that's all I do. Like that's all it takes.
So you're
is
Google.
You just look up. Yeah, I'm just the middleman between them and the internet. Like that's all I feel like I'm doing.
That's fascinating.
And that's all it is. It's like some people do better with like people telling them, or like some people do better. Yeah, or like I also understand that some people would rather have like a human that they trust tell them the answer instead of like Google that sometimes. Well, no, I feel like it's never wrong, but sometimes
you use
can
a lot
be
of
off,
reviews.
Yeah, of course.
And those could be like skewed.
Yeah, of course. But oftentimes, like you can look up the direct answer to a lot of the technical questions. Like a lot of the technical questions out there, you can look for direct answers.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
But really I never thought of it as you were because even like buying stuff, they can buy it online.
Yeah, they don't even have to come to the store. But it's the human experience that people want. It's the it's the it's
that's
the
what
interaction.
I like too. I don't buy. I hate buying shit online if I don't have to.
Yeah.
Like even Amazon, because number one, it's probably like I always expect it to be like crappy material.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so I like to see it in person. I'll never buy clothes online because they'll probably be too small.
That's one thing that I discovering recently. People are coming in talking about it. They're like, I'm coming into the store because like I'm tired of having to buy things online and then like returning them. It's like a long process. And also with clothes specifically, you can't try them on. You're supposed to try them on. You have to try on clothes. Like that's a big part of buying clothes. So the fact that like most fitting rooms are closed still and like a lot of the stores are just focusing online. I think that the stores that do that too much are going to get hit by it because people want to go in store.
Yeah, I think so too. But I also think I just have a weird body shape, so it's harder to find like clothes.
I feel you.
I'm not an average sized fella.
The reason why I love H&M, or used to love H&M, I'm past that now. But when I was younger, I couldn't find like professional attire, like suits and stuff, and like ties and stuff. It's probably so loud in here. You guys hear that? Wait, is that Alex Brightman on the helicopter?
Yeah, he picked up the Alex.
I see the tractor too. Yeah, they like hooked it up to this thing, and now they're like bringing it across the.
I think he's gonna land here.
It's a very low flying helicopter. It's like right next to the buildings. Are they allowed to do that? Anyway, yeah.
Classic Alex.
Classic Alex. Yeah, what was
Clothes. H&M.
H&M. Oh yeah, I was like professional attire was not. I can't go to Men's Warehouse because they're like all the suits are like massive. But then H&M was like, hey, like you're like a size 28 pant and a size like I don't even know what suit I was, but it was like a child suit. I think one of my legs
is 28, is size 28. That was my thing. I was always just a little too big than normal.
Yeah,
like just a little too big, too bigger.
Too bigger.
A little too bigger.
A little too bigger. So one of the things that you do well, or I've seen you do at least once, stand-up comedy. You love stand-up, right?
I'm starting to get into it.
Okay,
that was my first time doing it.
Yeah. Oh, you told me that, and it was incredible.
Thanks. I'm doing it tonight.
You're doing it what?
Yeah, I saw this thing. In I was going to tell you about it. In Bed-Stuy, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
An open mic.
Uh-huh.
I think like around 5 or 6, 17 people get up. And it's all stand-up, so there's no like other things.
There's no
so it's like everyone's there for stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to get more comfortable on it. This will be now my 3rd time going up.
Nice.
But I have so much stuff, but I don't. Yeah.
You have the material, but you just don't do it often.
I think I have the material.
Okay,
I need to like I think I do, but I need to see
the proving grounds.
Yes, absolutely.
So the one thing about stand-up is that you won't know if it's good until you get there, because you can't just do it to your friends. Like most of your friends will laugh because it's you, because friendship. And
true.
And then when you get there, it's the one thing that like you can really tell when it's not good.
Yeah.
Like if you're performing music, people can like fake, enjoying music. They can fake that easy. When it's stand up, it's so hard to fake laugh.
You're naked.
Like, people will not laugh if it's not funny. People won't laugh. Like
That's what you have an improv background. Right? You've done
slightly.
improv.
Nah, I mean, like not aggressively, but yeah, I've done improv.
You've done
Yeah,
improv.
yeah.
You know,
with the guys and stuff. Like our skits are all improv, like the El Boyo stuff. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And even this is improv. You have like notes and stuff, but this is improv.
This is improv.
But that's why I like improv way more than stand up right now, at least,
yeah,
because
of course.
the audience, especially in front of an audience, you're on a ride with the audience is on the ride with you. You don't have with stand up, people come there and they're like, "Oh, you worked on this material. You think you're funny. This is you. Make me laugh."
Yeah, exactly.
And
like you, and I can't interact with you. I'm a laugh, but like I'm like it's not like
yeah, it's just you're so
different.
naked.
When it's improv, people are their guard is a little lower.
Yeah,
because they're not
supporting you.
expecting. Yeah, they're not. They're just ready to see how your brain works, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, what's the wildest shit you're gonna say today? Because there's no like it's all chains off. There's no mask off. Everything's off. Like
Absolutely.
You're just like doing stuff. I love watching improv. It's probably one of my favorite things to watch.
Same. Have you watched Middleditch and Schwartz?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
I'm so
comedy
happy
special.
that they made it.
It's so yes.
Like mass appeal. Like,
And it's so big. It's
I know,
it's
I
like
want them to do more.
The stage was massive. The crowds were massive. Like that was improv on a level that I've never seen.
With two people.
Yeah, with just two. That was the most impressive to me is that they had 4 or 5 episodes or three episodes. They had 3 episodes. And it was just them 3 times.
Yep.
In completely different scenarios.
Getting one-word suggestions
Like and just
going off.
rolling for a whole special on Netflix. Those guys, one of my favorite moments is when they're like, let's play rock, paper, scissors.
Yep.
He's like, I'm gonna beat you.
Yep.
And he does. Those moments are so incredible.
Because that's you see the actors there.
And you see the connection, the long time connection. You see that's like people talk about chemistry, but that's real chemistry. That's like to be able to just flow off of each other like that, and also be so grounded and present in that. Like when they're messing up. Like I love always that at the end they're like, okay, you're this person, and then you did this, and then you are me, but I'm you right now because you're doing this. And then of course they did a body switch. Like that was so funny.
That's something I love.
Yeah.
About them specifically is that they're so, like you said, they're so grounded. I always feel like when I do improv, I have to be this big ball of energy and come in with all of that. But they do it in such a way that's so like, you could tell they're just like, they're having fun.
Like, hey guys.
Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah.
Exactly. In front of a big crowd, that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially with like theater backgrounds. Like when we get on stage, we want to be that.
Perform.
We want to like perform. And that's what I feel like stand-up is super similar to theater.
Yeah, you rehearse.
Yeah.
And you
for months.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm also in improv class right now with Squirrel Comedy. It's UCB closed down. Did you know that? Do you know UCB?
Say that full name.
UC Upright Citizens Brigade. That's the one that
closed.
They closed down during the pandemic. That's where everyone from SNL
that's like
came
the
from.
big one. That's like the famous one.
Yeah, other than Second City in Chicago.
Besides Chicago,
and Toronto.
But that's like one of those big.
Yeah.
What? How did they close?
I don't know.
How's that possible?
I don't know. But a lot of those people started a new little thing called the Squirrel Comedy Theater.
I'm glad they started a new thing, but damn.
I know. But maybe, I'm sure with like long-running things like that, there's probably some toxic stuff going on.
Yeah, maybe there. I mean, to like close down with like the amount of famous and now super rich people that have come out of that place, if you didn't have them coming to like support and
correct.
Like,
so that's where I think that there was something else a little underneath that.
Maybe they just like had to. It's probably news that they decided to keep.
Yeah, like we're closed. We're closed.
Yeah,
no questions. We are closed.
Don't even come here.
Yeah.
Don't try to start no GoFundMes. no Kickstarter. Like,
please go away. We're closed.
We're done. Maybe this is just one of their. Maybe this was just it's just gonna be like a long, standing improv routine.
Oh, this is just a long bit.
They're like closing it, and then they're gonna come back in like 20 years and be like, "We were never closed. We were doing it the whole time."
Nice. I like that.
It's some underground shit. You know?
I'd see that show. I'd see that 20-year show in the future.
So speaking of theater, and that kind of stuff, you do a lot of theater, or you did a lot of theater. I don't know if when's the last time you performed on a stage like that for like a theatrical production? Because it's been a really long time for me.
Yeah. Well, how long has it been for you?
Genuinely a part of a show. It's since I've moved here, so like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And like smaller scenes and stuff of the actor studio. So I was a part of
Yeah,
that.
dope.
So that was like the last time, but that was like a year, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. It's been a
especially
while,
with COVID and stuff.
It's
there's
been tough. It's
yeah,
been
that
tough.
adds a year and a half no matter what.
To be fair, I haven't even been looking, so yeah.
Fair.
I want to.
You should.
You should too.
I do. That's the
You
thing. I do.
Yeah, everybody is, right?
So the biggest thing I did last was the School of Rock
Yes,
tour. I
duly.
did the national tour of School of Rock.
It's so cool, man.
Still unreal
so
to
sick.
me. Still, truly, every time I'm like, it blows my mind.
So cool.
Coolest experience of my life so
Mhm,
far.
mhm.
There'll be more.
Of course. Better.
I just did a workshop of a new musical that we're going to put
Ooh.
up in March at George Street Playhouse.
Okay,
in,
that's exciting.
Yeah. It's so I did that in Connecticut about a month and a half ago. The workshop
Pretty
for
recent,
a week.
yeah.
And then so that's I'm auditioning a lot. My next thing I want to do, and I've been trying to manifest it for the past few months, is Beetlejuice, because that's coming back to Broadway, and they're going to tour it next year as
I
well.
didn't know it was coming back to Broadway.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So that's the
Wow.
that's the thing
That's
I
the dream.
really, really, really want. My
Nice.
goal. I live on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
Very luckily, I would love to be able to walk to my Broadway show.
Yeah,
I think that is my dream.
That
Not
sounds
even like
that sounds like the dream that that's pretty much what it is. Like,
yeah,
you come to New
because
York
like
for that.
a lot of people want like the TV and movies and stuff, which I would happily take.
That's
Like,
cool.
but to live in this city, where I do, and then walk to my job 8 times a week
To your show.
to perform. Oh my God, that is literally my dream.
That sounds like heaven, yeah. I remember thinking that too. At one point, I was like, how cool would it be to just be in a show and like do that all the time?
Yeah.
And do that for a while, get paid well, live comfortably, and then do
Travel.
it again when you can, and then travel, yeah, and then do it again when you can.
Yeah.
Like that sounds really sick.
Yeah,
And like it's also about doing a good job too, like doing the work and like having people congratulate you on that work. Like that's really cool.
Because
you know?
then that gets you the next thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Your work ethic, how you are backstage,
exactly.
the person you are.
Mhm.
It's not just about talent, and that's what I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are starting to learn too. Is that there's a lot, but being a good person, who people want to work with.
Mhm.
They might not be the most talented. It helps that if you are have some.
It does.
talent.
I mean, some people are like talented enough that they can kind of do whatever they want, but
Yeah, which
you know,
sucks.
it does suck.
But
But you got to get to a certain.
You
You got to get to a certain point too with that. Like, you hear a lot of stories about how there are so many celebrities that are just terrible people.
yeah.
But a lot of those people weren't terrible people at one point and just eventually became super famous and then just had to be terrible people for a long time. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's the only way they get what they need. So, I mean,
When you see a famous person,
yeah.
Are you someone that goes up to them, or like either ask for a picture
Yeah.
or just says something nice to them? What do you do when you see a famous person?
I honestly haven't seen many famous people in front of me where like I've had the opportunity to do that.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like I might. I don't know if I'd ever have the guts to say like, "Hey, can I take a picture?" I would definitely feel the urge to be like, "Hey, how's it going? I love your work."
Yeah.
You know? But I would never be. I don't know if I'd ever be able to bring myself to do that. It would depend on the scenario, how like kind they're being, and also like if somebody else were to be like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" and they seem like they want everybody to, and then I'd be like, "Okay, let me get a picture."
Yeah.
But like I can't be that person, mostly because of I'm like in those situations I feel like I'm slightly introverted.
Fair.
Like I'm like, oh, this is very nerve-wracking. I'm sure you get this all the time. I don't want to be this person, even though I'm sure they're like, depending on their status, it's like, no, I would love to take a photo with you. A lot of them are super kind like
Yeah.
that, but also like it's all the time, you know.
Yeah,
I don't
I
want to.
know.
Maybe they're just having that one bad day where they'll be like, you know what? No. And I'm like, embarrassed as shit. Just like, oh my God.
I know, and yeah, that's the thing, because I constantly go through that, because
Yeah.
I see a good amount up here, and like I saw Chris Rock, and I asked for a
crazy.
picture,
Yeah.
and I saw him like at first, his eyes, he was like, "Hey man," I was just like, "Hey, how are you?" Then I was like, "You mind if I grab a picture?" And I just saw the light go out in his eyes, and I was
Oh
like,
my
"I will never
God.
ask for another picture from someone ever again."
Oh man, that's so.
So now
gut-wrenching,
and so many of them, so many celebrities talk about it on like podcasts.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, for sure.
And they always say like, just talk to me. Don't hide behind like a phone. Like that's not what it's about. Like make a human connection.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not like.
That's what most of them are like looking for.
Yeah, I don't know why I wanted to ask that, but
no,
this
that's
is my
podcast
podcast
now. I got hijacked. No, that's a great. Honestly, that's a great question. I remember seeing at the actor studio, which was a crazy experience. But like Alec Baldwin came in twice to like moderate the sessions.
Jesus.
And it's like a theater for like maybe like 70, 80 people. It's like a really small. I don't know if you've ever seen that theater, that space, but it's really small.
Is
so
that
I was
where James Lipton did his Inside the Actor Studio?
No. Inside the Actor Studio was like a kind of like an offshoot of that. Like it was different. Like it was a different production. I don't think the Actor Studio had much to do with it, to be honest.
Okay.
But Inside the Actor Studio, speaking of that, though, they are connected, though, because we actually got to go see it inside the Actor Studio, and it was Willem Dafoe.
Oh, my
It was
goodness.
incredible. It was right after he did the Lighthouse, I think it was. What's it called? The Lighthouse?
Yeah, Lighthouse.
But, yeah, so it was really crazy because the sessions are like, you know, you get in there, you it's 2 hours, so you watch somebody rehearse, basically. So they're either doing like a fully memorized scene, they might be like later in the process, they could be early in the process where they're just doing character discovery, so they could get up there and not say a word and just do stuff and you would watch them. So all the actors come with intentions of what they want to do with that character that day, and then afterwards the session is like, so Alec Baldwin will be like, you know what, let's open it up to like the audience. What did you guys see? What did you guys notice? And then Alec will talk, and he'll be like,
Alec, first name basis, just so you guys know.
He'll talk. I feel weird saying that too, Baldwin. He'll talk, and he'll be like, I saw this. I saw that your intention might have been this, but I noticed this instead. This, and that. And they'll just like go through the process of like talking about the work. And then you'll break for like 10 minutes, and then you'll come back and see another one. And that's the whole session.
And would you go up at one point?
At one point I did go up. It's so, like, I never got to do anything serious up there for the sessions because I was a finalist. So you can't really, you can only do something if somebody invites you, one of the members invites you to be a part of something.
Gotcha. Because
to sign up, you have to be a member. And the first thing I did, so embarrassing, but there's this guy who was doing, I forgot his name, but he had done a play about Warhol and Basquiat that was put on, like the play was put on, apparently it was pretty good. But then he decided to do like a musical version of that, I think, is what was going on.
Like he chose to do that?
Yeah, and so embarrassing. Me and Franco were in it.
Love it.
Franco and I were in the actor studio. And he asked us, because we looked kind of similar at the time, because the hair, the vibe, when you walk into a building with mostly other demographics and you're one of the only two Hispanics in the room and you're both the same age and you kind of like came in together, people start to see you as twins. That's just kind of how it happens. So they were like, he asked us for both of us to play, because Andy Warhol has this painting that's like Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
And it's like the famous one. There's like multiple Elvises or whatever.
Yeah.
And we both played like Elvis Presley. Yeah, we did. It was like the musical version. So there were other characters there, a bunch of other finalists that got roped into it, and they had us do like choreo and everything, dude.
That's amazing.
At the actor studio. No, but it's not. Because then it was very like musical, it was very done up, and then, God, I will never forget this. There's this wonderful woman named Estelle Parsons, who very, very known in the theatrical community, especially at the actor studio. She's like one of the top honchos. She's like old. And she's also very forward, but she was like, told everybody basically, or like the guy who did it, who ran it, he was like, this isn't what this is about. We're not here at the actor studio to like have lights and music and dancing and choreography. No, it's about the work for the actors. Like, what are we doing with the actors? And I was there like, why did I say yes to this? In my with my like slick back hair and my leather jacket and my white completely matching with Franco. We're just sitting there like, this is embarrassing.
But because it was an opportunity, you can't take that on yourself.
No, dude, it was like, that's why I was like, I felt bad, because it was us finalists just being like, of course I want to go on the stage. What?
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think she looked down on you at all.
No,
for
sure. She couldn't even see me from where she was. But it was like, that was a moment where I was like, I wish we didn't do that.
Yeah.
But it's fine. You know, we were up there. It was a lot of fun. People like were like, that was cute, and we were like, yeah, I guess that was cute. But
and
yeah,
and you have a story now.
yeah, and I have a freaking hilarious story that I performed as Elvis Presley in front of Estelle Parsons. Yeah, that was sick. What was your most embarrassing theatrical experience?
I have one of those.
I'm sure you do.
In middle school,
Everybody does.
I have a video of it too.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
In middle school, I was doing Guys and Dolls, and I was
Nice.
Nicely, the guy who singing
Yeah.
"Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat."
Mhm. I love that song.
And there's a scene where Adelaide,
Mhm.
Nathan Detroit's lady friend, becomes hysterical. So
Yeah.
in our middle school version, I picked her up over my shoulder and brought her off stage.
Oh my god.
Well, one night I picked her up and she kept going back.
Oh.
She fell on her head. Then I dragged her off stage. The next scene comes in, and it's the next scene happens, and my first line is supposed to be, so I took Adelaide to the hot box, which was like where they performed and stuff. So I came on, first time I ever improvised anything. I go, so I took Adelaide to the chiropractor, and then I took her to the hot box. The crowd died, and that was the first time I ever
Dude.
I got a laugh. Like I
Yes,
did
you
that.
earned that
No one
laugh,
else. Like no one told me to do
Yeah.
that. I was like, I have to say something about it.
That's
Everyone just saw me drop this girl
You
on
have
her
to.
head.
Dude, that's the beauty of freaking theater, man.
Yeah,
I love that.
thanks.
That's a great story.
Thank you so much. And it's
I can't
on
believe you have a
film, which is
video
the
of
best.
that.
Yeah,
That's like the best part right
Yeah.
there. That reminds me of one of those, like, you ever seen those compilations where it's like greatest improv moments in theater and stuff? There's like the moments where like I remember there's I'm sure you saw it, but the Into the Woods with the cow. Like
Yep.
when the leg breaks off and he's
yes, gold.
Those moments, man, are so incredible when like there's like just such genuine laughter because it's so unexpected and everybody got to experience that together.
And you can't
Oh my
not
God.
mention it. Like
You
that's
have
the
to do
thing too.
something.
Which
Yeah.
speaking of, so in high school,
Yeah.
I did a show. I did Annie.
Nice.
And
Okay.
in the same kind of thing, something happened where
Yeah.
I'm supposed to, at the end, I'm Rooster and my mustache falls off
Yeah.
when it's not supposed to. So I made a thing about it. I had a check and I covered it and stuff.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
tried to, but my drama teacher got pissed at me. She was like, "Don't do that. You're mugging. Like you made it all about the mustache." And I was like, everyone saw that I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be like in disguise.
Yeah.
And if I don't have my mustache, I'm not in disguise. I have
Yeah,
to do
you
something.
have to do
But
that,
she
yeah.
was pissed at me.
Those are the kind of moments that stifle creativity.
Yeah, I
honestly,
agree.
because what's her name? We call her out right now.
Diana Rogers.
She just shivered wherever she is.
We yeah, we're still friends. She'll send me it's sweet. She'll send me she was actually in the first national tour of Les Mis.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's impressive.
She was
Holy-
Madame Thénardier.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Anywho.
That's so funny, man. That's so funny. So you've had a pretty wild journey, it seems like. You've done a lot.
Very fortunate.
A part of that journey has been kind of like your focus on your health as of late. And
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been since you like went heavy into that, but you look good, man.
Thanks so
You look
much.
really good.
It was actually April 1st when we first started filming.
Oh, wow.
It was my first week of like,
Yeah.
I got to do something.
Yeah.
I gained I was at 244
Nice.
when I started,
Mhm.
and now I'm at like 214.
It's impressive,
Something
man.
like that. Thanks, man. I owe that all to Michael Wordley, who is right now doing Kinky Boots in
Oh, shit.
Chicago.
Nice.
He's a great friend of mine, and we
Mhm.
went to the gym all the time, and he was just very motivating, and yeah, my weight fluctuates all the time. Like all throughout college, I was like up to 265, then it went down to like 205.
Yeah.
Then I moved up again. Like
Yeah.
I fluctuate a lot. So hopefully this time I tried to do like none of the fad diets.
Mhm.
I'm eating healthy, balancing. Like
Yeah.
I'll still eat pizza once in a while,
Of
but I'll
course,
just
you earned
like
it. Yeah.
it's just life's all about balance. So I'm trying to find that balance, and
That's
I've
good,
been
man.
able to keep the weight off
Yeah.
because of it.
That's great. Honestly, it's very impressive. I think that's such a hard thing to do. I'm trying to work out more often.
Yeah?
Because I need to I don't need to, but I would like to put some weight on. You know, I would like to not be as or feel as frail as I feel.
Totally.
So, and I'm getting into basketball too. I want to be able to play basketball more often. You know, I want to be able to like play a lot for a few hours and not feel gassed. You know, because that's a big thing. Like feeling exhausted, I don't enjoy that. So I would like to feel the good kind of tired. That's like I can still stand up. But I feel like I really worked, you know.
And I feel like there's such a misconception of like, because we're the two Yeah, my feet keep falling asleep, so I have to keep moving.
It's
Sorry.
so hard. I feel you.
We have the two different types of body parts.
Yeah.
Or body parts.
Body parts.
I think we have the same. Who knows?
I mean,
2021.
You can't assume.
But like I think there's endomorph and ectomorph. I don't know which is which, but those are the two of like your type where you want to put on weight, and mine is where I constantly have weight on, so I need to. But everyone always thinks that like just because you're super thin that you're like healthy. Like they automatically think that, which for a long time I did too. And a lot of people think if you're super big that you're not healthy.
Yeah.
But it's all about like the heart and like you could be as thin as you want, but if you're eating shitty and
I just so happen to have a good digestive system.
Metabolism
that doesn't
and all
like
that.
the metabolism that doesn't like hold all of that stuff.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean I'm healthy at all. I just can like eat a box of pizza and not see the difference later, you know.
Piece of shit.
But that's not a good
but
thing. It's not a good thing at all.
Because then you don't.
Because I don't feel the consequences.
Correct.
So I would keep doing it, you know. Like, and, you know, you feel it. Like, you feel like shit after you eat it, no matter what.
Yeah, but you don't look like shit.
I don't look like shit.
Damn.
Like, I can, like, still, push my tummy out and it still won't extend. It's really weird.
It's fascinating to me. It really is.
It is. It's so terrible. But, you know, there's pros and cons to every walk of life.
Absolutely.
Every being, every human has those pros and cons. So, it's all about finding those pros and then like having that, you know, supplement your cons and like kind of
absolutely
like work together, you know.
But the cons make us human, so I like
cons
that
make
too.
us human, dude, for 100%. So I think you know, but this is for Patreon, right? This is for our Project Field Patreon. If you're watching this, I love you. Thank you so much for supporting us. We're able to do this because of you. But one of the cool things about our Patreon is that sometimes we ask them if they want to ask you questions.
Cool.
We got a few questions.
Yeah.
So we're going to go on start with that. So the first question is from a wonderful human on our Patreon. His name is Michael. First question is, as an actor, what does your process look like for getting into character? And I know that's like a very big question, and it could vary sometimes. I understand that, but like, what's your favorite thing to do, as like when you're getting into it? You know.
I think the biggest thing is to think like the character, which is so for that you have to do a lot of the background work for the character. If it's just a scene, your moment before, but if it's for the whole show, find out who that person is, what they like, things that aren't even mentioned in the script. Just to like have all of that and really focus on that and work on that, because then when you bring that character in, you can, and once everything's memorize that shit as quickly as possible.
Yes,
so you can get out of your head, because so many times people don't get to act because they're looking for the words and in their head for that. Yeah. So memorize as soon as you can. That's the first step. Just memorize it, memorize it, know it like because once you memorize it, you can, like I said, get out of your head and then start thinking like the character, because there are thought like that. That's something I feel like I started doing a while ago, which I'm again very fortunate, and I don't know how, maybe just from watching a lot of TV or movies and stuff, but I can quickly think like the character, which I really enjoy, and it makes such a difference when you're acting, because when you're saying something, you could be thinking something, like it's just being a human being. Yeah. Like right now, you could be nodding your head, but like thinking like, shut the fuck up. But you could, honestly.
It's true.
But that makes it like the smallest little differences.
It does.
So I would say memorize first, do the background work, like why, like who this person really is, and think the thoughts, and then have fun. Truly have fun. Even if it's like a dark scene, you can still have fun with that. There was a scene where I had to choke a girl. I did this acting class a couple weeks ago, and I had to choke this girl, and like it was like a choking makeout thing. It was really weird, but it was a great scene. But afterwards, we both like as soon as we broke, we were like like we had fun doing it, because once you like you get that groove and you like you both are like in it and thinking the thoughts and like really like you escape from this world and you go into this other world that you've created for yourself, and it's just lovely. So
that's beautiful.
And also just ground yourself and don't breathe. Don't breathe. Breathe.
Don't
beforehand, breathe. I always say to myself, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
because like
there you go.
When there's people watching and stuff like that, we also get out of our head and we focus on them. Fuck them.
Yeah, that's a really big thing. That's probably one of my one thing I actually struggle with pretty in a lot of ways when it comes to acting is I can know the lines pretty well and feel like I'm in character, but a lot of the times what I'm thinking about in my head is the performing and there's all the technical things, and like I'm thinking about where I got to be next and what I got to do next, and I know what I have to do next. So and people can read that on you. I think that's the big thing. It's like if they can read when you are somewhere but you know you got to be somewhere else, you know, or like you know you're about to go somewhere else. It's really easy to read. So
and that's where the work comes in, because once you get it,
it's the hard part.
And I mean, this is a job as well. So like, there's people like Jerry Seinfeld, more for stand-up, but he'll set aside like 4 hours every day because that is his job. He'll write for 4 hours. He'll sit and write. So if you're an actor, take the time. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, and if you're not and you want to get into it, that's all it takes, honestly.
Yeah.
And just also knowing all facets of life, or at least like trying your best to understand all walks. You know, that's one
empathy.
thing that's clutch. Yeah, is like being able to see someone and kind of put yourself in their position and in the small ways, because you can't always. There's no way to really see someone's complete perspective, but that's the beauty of acting. It's like gives us more reach. You know.
Absolutely.
Cool.
There was a homeless guy that threw a shoe at me the other day.
Amazing.
And I really like he was like getting up in my face. He was a little guy, and I didn't know what to do. And part of me was like, I want to knock this guy out. He just threw a shoe at me, like he was getting violent with me. But then I thought, he's got some stuff going on. Like he has some stuff. So not only for acting, but like for real life stuff. If you can put yourself in someone else's shoes, like you said, it'll help you in life too, of just like being more calm and understand where someone's coming. Like there are assholes all around. I work at a coffee shop now, and they're like just rude people, but there's a reason why. Sometimes it's a bad day, but you can't. And it's so hard to say, like, don't let it affect you, but it affects you sometimes. Yeah, but just know that there's a reason most of the time. Yeah, for sure.
A question from Christine. Don't eat the mic, please.
Sorry.
From Christine Arquero. Arquero. Jesus, I can't speak. Yeah, I just like totally.
You
know,
Motormouth from
yeah.
Fat Albert. There's a.
What's your favorite joke to say during like interactions, just like, you know, day to day?
Yeah. I have so many. This girl I'm dating right now, she's starting to say, it's the one, as soon as we sat down, you go, Jesus, and I go, Jonathan, but I get it a lot. That's one I go to all the time. And now it gets to a point where she will say, or I'll say Jesus, and she'll say, no, Adriana. Like, she's using my joke. Man. That's how much I love those. I love those, though.
Because they're so, like, they're like a little, like, passerbys. They just kind of, like, fly away, you know, after it's done.
Yeah, I also like if just even I'll do it for people that I just meet at the coffee shop or something. Like they'll get their coffee and I'll be like, "Oh, can you do me a favor?" And they're like, "Yeah, have a great day." And it's always like a okay,
I guess, yeah.
But I love those little like weird things like that.
It's fun because they're gonna think about that after and be like,
I hope so.
Okay, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have a good day today.
Like I wonder if that homeless person thinks about me.
I wonder too.
Because like I think
that all the time.
I think how many people like think about you like because
After
we
you've
talk
had an
about
interaction.
yeah, that's interesting to me.
Yeah, I love that. Do you have a favorite joke from a stand-up routine, or is there just like
It's hard. It's so hard. One that my buddy Callahan wrote for me, because it's all you know how like Jerry's like, what's the deal with that? Like it's just like like things, but it's so true. You ever I wear glasses.
Yes, I do wear glasses. Yeah.
And you're wearing glasses and someone asks you to try them on, and then they say, "Hey, how do I look?" I don't know. You're wearing my glasses. I can't
even
see. So that just like an observation.
No, yeah, that's great.
Oh, I was texting this girl the other night, and things were getting pretty steamy, and and I say like, "What are you wearing? I can't wait to see you." And it was really awkward because I sent it to my mom.
Oh.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to my sister.
That's a good one too. I love when my favorite thing about stand-up is that when they make really small observations that seem really just like day to day, like, oh yeah, I've experienced that, and then they make it so connected, but then they just bring it out to like the most extreme. I love those
so
moments.
you know who's good, and that's something I'm trying to specifically. That is something I'm trying to work on because I have so many observations.
Yeah.
Like, you ever go into a bathroom with like a male-female bathroom, like a whatever unisex bathroom with one stall, like one toilet in there, and I don't know about you, but if there's pee on the seat before I even go, I have to clean it.
You have to.
Because the person after me will think that I did it, and I feel like that sucks, and I need to figure out how to make that funny. Like, it's an observation that I'm sure a lot of people do. Like, do I like now I do a deep cleaning? I bring like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where I can take that.
No, that's great. That's awesome. I love that.
Thanks,
That's also the great thing about living life as an artist is that you get to do that with interactions. Like, you don't just experience it; you get to experience it and then retell.
Yeah.
And put your own twist on it, which is really fun.
Totally.
So we're gonna go ahead and cut it off right here, like it's over.
Do I say goodbye?
No, I'm kidding. As your farewell to the Patreon audience, I would say just like tell us how you feel and give us like a little bit of information maybe on what's going on soon.
Cool.
Maybe things that people can look forward to. And then just kind of like send us off.
Cool. Yeah.
That's you.
Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Again, the Patreon. I appreciate what you're doing to keep this going and all of that. For everyone listening, go fuck yourselves. Be Patreons. Just kidding. Please listen. No, just from the creative performer aspect, if you love it, keep doing it. Find ways to create stuff for yourself. Don't wait for someone else to do it. That's a biggest lesson because you're putting someone else's, you're putting your being in someone else's hands, and just put it in your own hands. Even if it doesn't feel like it's enough, just do it. Figure it out, and it'll happen. Some things to look forward to. Season 2 of a couple of chestnuts. That's on everywhere that podcasts are. That'll be for the holiday season. Short film when that comes out. Who knows when?
We'll get there.
And then I'm also putting together a theater-themed late-night style talk show. Gonna fully produce that to do something, and gonna figuring that out as we speak. But yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, man. No problem at all.
And see me in Beetlejuice next year, hopefully, manifesting.
100%, dude.
How cool would that be to like look back at this and like, I think about that all the time. How cool.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
All right. Toodles poodles.
That was good. All right. Awesome.